Section 12. Our teachers and guides, many among them, say that the authentic and true principle of Islam is Tawhid. Tawhid to them is acceptance of one God. This too seems to oppose the reason and the viewpoint of the Quran and Hadith. The correct translation of the Arabic word Tawhid in Tamil would be Athvaitham or Athuvitham, doctrine of non-duality. Union of all, Akathuvim, is also the meaning of Tawhid. The former is connected to the Sanskritized northern dialect and the latter indigenous dialect. Details would be given later. The root word of Tawhid is the Arabic word Murthath, Ahotha, and phonetically originates from Babylu. There is no difference in meaning of Tawhid and Athvaitham. Tawhid means to unite, but some say it is union of all. This does not mean the acceptance of one God. It means to unite into one principle by reason all theories that are prevalent due to the illusions created by distortions, wamu. This is the gist of Tawhid. If this is true, then shirk too should be an aspect diametrically opposed to it. That is to say, if the union of all theories as one is the authentic Tawhid, observing everything as separate, seeing God as separate, creations as separate, one God theory as separate would amount to shirk. The word directly opposed to Tawhid is shirk. As per this discussion, our original acceptance or faith borders on shirk. Many of us do not think of this. Our knowledge is painfully disturbed when we take this into our thoughts. The viewpoint of the intellectuals seems to disturb our viewpoint of the principle of Islam. We are unable to find the right and wrong of it. Quran. Surah 50, verse 5, even then, the facts that were with him were made erroneous and thus created disturbances. Many among our ancestors gave us a description that only helped to be fully disturbed by turning the facts of religion upside down. As a result, many of us know only to recite the kalima by word of mouth but are ignorant of gaining any benefits from it. We accept Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as our party leader like the others of our ilk but have not done so in our hearts and minds. This is because the very first words of his seems to create a disturbance in our knowledge and seems erroneous and mischievous. Our minds are forced into thinking that the Quran he expostulated too would create the same problems. We only voice and boast that the Quran is Mu'jizat, Allah's own words, and Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, was sent by Allah as rahmath to the whole world's populace, as we are party loyalists. As we have been fully brainwashed in the belief that is contrary to the expostulations of Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Quran and Hadith, we indulge in all the evil rituals and practices, totally unaware of the same. We will surely know of it at the time of our death, but that awareness is not going to bring forth any benefits to the dying person. A person for over 50 years prays and worships but is totally ignorant of Iman or has not accepted it, has recited the Quran that is Alhamdulillah Surah 310,250 times during his prayers but has not obtained any benefits from it is a known fact. If his prayer has been accepted, then he would surely have benefited and would be amongst the true servants. Would a true servant say lies for a stipend of ₹5? Will he feel jealous? Will he live as a fool? Think it over. Alhamdulillah is extolled in so many ways, but obtaining benefits from it is very doubtful. Think of the rest by yourself. Hadith. Whatever prayers you perform without ridding yourself of evil acts and practices will only make you distance yourself from Allah. Hadith. For those who pray there is nothing except discomfort and pain and there is no benefit. Hadith. There is no good if one recites the Quran without analysis and thought. A prayer that is not understood is no prayer. The one who is most knowledgeable is one who prevents the people from losing Allah's grace, gives them strength to overcome Allah's displeasure, and those who strive to prevent people from turning towards things that are not in the Quran, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Ali Rahmatullah, Authority, Regine. You all perform by practice and traditions. For this you request from Allah for many things. Heaven was not created for those with worldly desires. It is a place to trade the good deeds of a person. Mohideen Abdul Qadir Jailani has stated, if prayers and fasting and all your good amal divide you from Allah, it would surely be a curse on you. Think and ponder that at present, those in the garb of Muslims are directing the people in a direction away from the Quran, and those people are only making their amals as a curse to themselves. When the majority of the people and their views are not synonymous with the principle of Islam, how could one obtain Iman and believe in it? If one does not understand the truth in Iman, how could prayers and performance of other ibadah bring any benefits? Without understanding the meaning of the principles of Islam, how could one assume that he has obtained Iman, and what is the meaning of him saying that he has obtained Iman? We are only deceiving ourselves by saying that there is no Lord except Allah. We have obtained Iman, we have become Mu'mins. Matter is otherwise. The one who sleeps with the dog will wake up with ticks. Gauge the position and think over the condition of the state of many of us. Do claim success by observing as to how Islam is journeying. Quran Surah 2, verse 78. And there are among them illiterates who know not the book but see therein their own desires, and they do nothing but conjecture. Section 13. O brother, do think and compare some ulamas with a pure mind and steadfast nature with the other ulamas and mullahs and others. These people graduated with many degrees, honored and respected by the society, but are cowardly and foolhardy when it comes to explaining Iman and the correct interpretation of the principles of Islam. Some of them, knowing the actual details and the authentic meanings of the principles of Islam, remain stoically silent in fear. They still have not cleared all their doubts and have not planned to live in truthfulness. Further, in the era when people consider Tawhid as shirk, and shirk as Tawhid, expressing truth may only end in receiving kicks. Their place in society may be jeopardized, their earnings may come to naught, and may earn the name of mushrik and kafir. All these make their fear a reality. Another section are of the belief that changing and interpolating the matters in respect of Tawhid appearing in the Quran and Hadith to suit their own mode, norms and knowledge. Failing this would make Tawhid untenable as per their contention. Still another group, fearing that if the truth is told to the common man, they will not perform their compulsory rituals, prayers, and hence truth of it should never be told or revealed. Those who, to satisfy the ordinary man's foolhardiness, cover up truth with falsehood, not only are unaware of the truth but are also unfit to express the truth, would be my personal opinion. Another group view that Tawhid should only be accepted for recitation and need not be imprinted in the minds of the recitalist, and believing in the voiced Tawhid is a task that cannot be accomplished. Certain others feel a silence is golden as regards Tawhid. There are similar number of Mulvis, intellectuals, guides and knowledgeable persons amongst us. We could go on describing in such manner. The kitabs that are the treasure chest of knowledge too are in the same plight. Such is the ignorance. God says to honor the knowledgeable, ulamas. If a person is thirsting to become aware of the truth, and if he is lucky, nasib, or destined to quench his thirst, then the explanations thus given would suffice to motivate him in his quest. For a person who has no desire and unfit for such quest will always be deaf and dumb to it. The one who strives will always succeed is indeed factual. In the same vein, the one who succeeds is the one who strives is also equally factual. Quran Surah 8, verse 21. Not be like those who say, we hear but listen not. Quran Surah 8, verse 22. For the worst of beasts in the sight of Allah are the deaf and the dumb, those who understand not. These ayahs signifies the act of seeking knowledge from those who are armed with it and to announce the known truth. O brother, if you have good luck, you will be able to understand the truth and become aware of it, and would live a life of a true believer, mu'min. If you like to live so, you must strengthen your heart and mind and with patience read from the beginning to the end the details I will provide you with. Do not take any final decision without reading it. I believe that you may not be in a position to understand it in the first instant and hence have to read it many times over. You may say that since I am well educated, reading it once over would suffice. I am proud of your standing and ability. The aspect of matters concerning the truth of Emman cannot be imprinted in the mind of the reader at the very first instant, and obtaining a clear doubtless Emman is a very doubtful and difficult task. However elevated you are in knowledge, until all the veils that surround you are gradually stage by stage removed, Emman cannot get imprinted in your heart and mind. Hence, without reading it a number of times, these veils cannot be removed. This is the view of those who researched into knowledge and my personal experience. Though the matter is bitter to hear, think of it in a positive way and clear yourself. Quran Surah 5, verse 35. O believers! Fear God, search for the path to reach Allah. Do take great effort, feasible, along its path. Quran Surah 29, verse 69. And those who strive in our cause, we will certainly guide them. The actual authentic details regarding these ayahs would be explained later. The details of the pathways too will be shown. Inshallah, be patient. My brother, if the omnipotent Creator had not gracefully helped you, you would not have got this book in your hand. And also you would not have got the chance to read the amazing facts, understood it nor get a clear picture of it. Hence thank Allah, the Sea of Mercy, for the great help and give your ears. Even though obtaining Emman seems easy, the fact is otherwise. For Emman to overcome the discordant wamu that has saturated man's mind is indeed very difficult. It is because of this that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam stated that it is easier for the camel to go through the eye of a needle than for Emman going into the man's scalp, heart. A difficult matter has to be analyzed with difficulty to get at the truth. Hadith. If Allah had not blocked the man going towards hellfire, none would have stated that there is no ilah except Allah and bear witness with a pure heart that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his messenger. So said Rasul sal, and was reported by Anas, Rahmatullah, authority, Buhari. I have to provide you with some strategies that would help you in clearing off the many blockades, veils, in your mind for you to be in a position to understand the descriptions and discover the real truth. If we were to do so for even the smallest of the problem, this book would have to consume over 1,500 pages, hence we will stick to the bare minimum. We are all aware that for supporting evidences, the Quran and Hadith would suffice. However, it appears that the knowledge of the common man, many of the present-day people of knowledge, Mulvis, graduates have not fully, 100%, accepted the evidences provided by the Quran and Hadith. There are many reasons underlying this situation. The main reason being that discordant beliefs, wamu, have overawed the innocent nature of the common sense prevailing in the humankind. Hence many are in a state, unable to think for themselves. Even if they do think, they are unable to draw. any genuine conclusions and are cowardly in their life. Therefore, the man has to first of all clear his own mind, qalb, of the numerous blockades or veils that engulf it. If this is not done, then he will not be in a position to believe in the supporting evidences of the Quran and Hadith and the explanations provided by learned ulamas. It is an unquestionable fact that to a man who does not believe in common sense, the exposition of learned ulamas, ayahs, Hadith and Quran will possess a qalb that cannot be penetrated by Emman. He will not be able to achieve his objective until one understands and stabilizes the Emman within himself in a genuine way. Whatever amals he performs to achieve his objective remains unaccepted. This is true even for those who are considered a high dignitary or an intellect with many degrees. Hadith. What is the best among worships, ibadah? When this query was put to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he responded by saying that it was the knowledge of Allah, Emman. When inquired as to what this knowledge was, his answer was that it was the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When finally questioned as to why he is talking of knowledge when we question regarding amals, Rasul Sal responded by saying only with the knowledge of Allah will even a minuscule of amal would become acceptable. But if in ignorance of Allah's knowledge, no amal, worship, will bring any benefits, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This hadith had been extensively dealt by Imam Ghali in his Mufliheen. Hadith. In a state of neutrality, strive to achieve God's grace by praying in the morning, evening and in the late hours of the night, ibadah. Involve in religious discourses. Seek more knowledge. No amount of worship will succeed in one attaining heaven, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When questioned what about you, he responded by saying even himself, unless he obtains the pardon, mercies and grace of Allah, his worship too would be unacceptable. Reported by Abu Hurairah, Rahmatullah, Authority, Bukhari. In this hadith emerges many truths. There are many more hadiths that have not reached the ears of the common man that supports this hadith. We will analyze it at an appropriate instance. Quran too has many ayahs supporting it. We will take it up later. The subject of forgiveness too would be dealt with later. No man will accept anything or obtain Emman if his knowledge rejects it. To mistakenly understand the knowledge that is unacceptable to the knowledge of one, and falsely stating that he accepts and believes in it amounts to vain speech. If necessary doubts do not arise in man, then he is ignorant of any truth. Belief is the laborer of inshan. If knowledge is not activated, real doubts would not emerge. If doubts do not arise, truth will never emerge. It is because of this that men of blind faith and superstitious beliefs refuse to believe in genuine truth. Even the Rasuls and Nabis were affected by this problem. The Quran describes many instances where many Nabi who in trying to stabilize Emman within themselves have questioned certain aspects that created doubts, did have doubts and cleared it only by personal experiences. Hadiths that relate such incidents is galore. Stratagem and basis are two aspects that are important in confirming a fact. By stratagem, it means common sense and intelligence. Basis here refers to religious revelations, Quran, and Hadith. In the case of religious revelations and Hadith, even if we were made to understand that they are genuine, authentic and true, man will not accept or believe in it if his knowledge does not comprehend it. Many men of the present generation are not mature enough to comprehend the religious revelations. The environment is such. Stratagem is different. In this state, the man feels his intelligence is genuine. This makes him accept what his intelligence accepts and rejects what his intelligence rejects. Even though it is true and genuine, as his intelligence sees it as false, he opposes or rejects it. It is because of this intellectuals of high learning do maintain the mistakes they make as not wrong but correct. The religious dignitaries and preachers do act in preaching misconstrue and misdirect due to this natural tendency. Even though they are religious dignitaries, their maturity is not competent to interpret religious revelations correctly. All this is because the discordant belief, wamu, completely overrides and covers or blots off the common sense in us to such an extent it becomes inactive. Quran and the Hadiths are totally opposed to the discordant beliefs, wamu. Quran is called Furqan. Furqan means to analyze. What differentiates good and bad, right and wrong? It is the common sense. Hence, to an unstinted clear common sense, Quran and Hadiths would appear very genuine, authentic and factual. Manqul and maqul refers to one and the same. Hence, if we clear off our discordant ideas, wamu, the common sense would be activated, and I am of the opinion that this would enable common sense to accept Quran and Hadiths and the truth behind Islam and Iman. All that I am providing is not a new discovery, nor does it oppose the revelations of the Quran or the statements of the Hadiths. It is after long years of research and analysis of the Quran, Hadiths and the views and explanations of true servants of Islam in practically experiencing the same ideas, set them down after evaluating as authentic, genuine and factual. I attempt this in the way I know and understand. Some men who are in thirst of union with Allah may find my explanations useful. I have come into contact with a variety of persons living in Sri Lanka. I found many who are thirsting to tread Allah's path, some who are ignorant of the truthful explanations and some others who are truly illiterate. There were also others who were indulging in singing ancient traditional songs of devotion and those who have not understood or ignorant of the authentic Tawhid. They seem to have been blocked up in their search. I thought I was powerless to put this right. This is because I served as a teacher for a short period, but not to be labeled as a teacher. In the same vein, to know and understand the truth of the religion, I began the study of Arabic language, not to become or be recognized as a Mulvi. Thus, having no name of a Mulvi or a Ulama behind me, no person would listen or accept my explanations or expostulations. Thus I remained a silent sentinel. Maybe the omnipotent, omniscient Allah had decided that it is through me that some men should be told the truth, that I came to view Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam in my dreams and in my ru'ya viewing. About 8 years ago, I dreamt of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and was able to get to know many things from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This motivated me to make public the real meaning and truth of Tawhid that had been lying untouched and sunk in debris, and to impart this knowledge to those with moderate knowledge of Tawhid. To accomplish this, it became imperative that I should write a book. With very great difficulty and Allah's guidance, I completed my task. In the fear that making public my writing may unnecessarily bring about untoward disturbances, I delayed the printing of this book. I did, however, talked about the completion of the book to a few knowledgeable folks. Some ordinary folks and Mulvis perused the book. Some of them even copied certain sections of it, and by expostulating it openly in public they became Arifins. One person came forward to publish the book, naming it "Why is Man Born?" Another person acted as if he had been transformed into a poet and a spiritualist. Still others, taking certain sections of my manuscript, deceived the innocent and ignorant folks. Due to such unseemly acts, Some Munafiqeens wrongly accused me of many mistakes and portrayed me as an evil person, and I became aware of this. It is because I could not identify the Munafiqeens in the cover of Muslims, I taught them regardless. It actually amounted to casting pearls before a swine or wearing a diamond necklace around the neck of a pig. Allah exposed them to me. We are all aware of how a writer of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was revelation, calling himself a prophet. This type of deception that prevailed during our mentor Rasul's sallallahu alayhi wasallam time does happen even during his students' time too. Otherwise we have nothing to prove that we are following Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I, as a result of those happenings, became heavy of heart and cut off all connections with the people who had no eyes to see my knowledge. About 2 years ago, a friend of mine from Katankuti came forward to publish my book. He wanted me to record a resume of it for his personal use. I acceded to his request and took over 5 hours to accomplish it. This audio tape is still in his possession. One of them who happened to listen to it was Al-Hajj Rafmuvi from Katankuti. He imbibed my estimation of the present-day movie, and he himself, being well aware of the same, began to go public about it by public orations. This made a section of them to come forward to publish my book. This movie and his companions perused my manuscript for over 1.5 months. They praised me for my efforts. Movie's modus operandi of jumping the gun without expressing all aspects of my explanations created a stir among the public. This was because they had not understood my correct perspective of my arguments and explanations. I was in pain of mind and felt sorry for the happenings. I appealed to Allah, my Creator. I was requested not to print the book through the movie, and that responsibility should be given to a person who would come and meet me. This was the dream I had in response to my complaint to Allah. Ishara, form of communication, being affected in mind that I hadn't a title or the name of the Ulama. This ishara strengthened and fortified my mind, and Allah also gave me an opportunity to publish my book. Alhamdulillah. Quran. Surah 2, verse 207. And there is the type of man who gives his life to earn the pleasure of God, and God is full of kindness to his devotees. Hafiz. A section of Ma'amith will always battle and perform jihad in the name of truth. They will always be victorious against their enemies. In the final days those who are living will battle against the Dajjals. Hafiz. This religion would exist to the last day, Kamath. A section of Muslims will truly battle for their religion, deen, continuously. Hence, I have permitted my students to print 1,000 copies of the book. I am herewith expressing all the facts that I have known, understood and believed in, and by doing so obeyed the omnipresent Allah and strengthened my belief in Islam. I wish to put to your thoughts that it was only after many years of striving to gain fame and fortune that I decided it was a sheer waste. Only after this that I decided to unearth the sunken facts of Islam and attempted to make public the same. It is customary for those who publish books and kitabs to include a foreword, reviews by highly placed and acclaimed graduates and intellectuals. There were numerous such persons who in prose and verse gave kudos to this book. I felt it inappropriate to include the same for this book. I have many reasons for it. The most important being that what I envisaged to write in this book is what I elucidated from Quran, Hadith, from respected awliya and their expositions, and from common sense, and above all my truthful experiences. In order to announce these types of inclusions would amount to only showing off false pride. It is for saying falsehood that a person had to show an exaggerated face. A truth can be stated even if you are naked. Those who like it will accept and those who do not like it reject it. Section 14. Those who write books do stick to the subject matter they intend writing on, and do so without diluting it with other unimportant matters. This is the universal norm followed by the authors. This is only for the consumption of the knowledgeable and will not satisfy those of moderate knowledge who are wanting in knowledge. This is because the style of writing in such manner will not be comprehended by those with moderate knowledge. It is because of this that I have delved very expansively and very repetitive in my presentation. The style I have employed is also in keeping with the normal oratorical style of the rural folks. My only intention in employing such methods is to make people understand and comprehend the given facts and not to show off many skills as a writer. Hence I request you to ignore my style of writing and other norms adopted by writers of repute, and instead delve deeply into the meanings enunciated in this book. Hadith. Leaving or excluding the meanings, those who indulge in extolling the word usage, let them be ruined. Repeated Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam 3 times. Reported by Ibn Mas'ud, Rahmatullah, Authority, Abu Dawud. Section 15. O brother! Accepting or rejecting the truths explained in the book is in you alone. We have no right to deny your right and independence or freedom to force you on any matter. But do be a witness in God's grace for the efforts I took to explain the truth I possess in a manner that you would comprehend. That would suffice. Quran. Surah 10, verse 99. If it has been thy Lord's will, they would all have believed, means, all those who are on earth. Wilt thou then compel mankind against their will to believe? I am warning you. Do not lose patience at any stage while reading this book. Do not observe me with doubtful eyes. If you think that my explanation is false, do not reject it immediately and permanently. Think that you were wrong and read my explanations many times over. Think it over once more and clear yourself. A minute of right thought could raise you to a higher state than many years of worship. You may find my explanations regarding Emman, Shirk and Colombo may seem opposed to your views. You may even be taken unawares. I am sure that these truths will surely shock you. This I know by Allah's assistance. I, who has taken the responsibility of explaining to you, have been waging a battle within myself for many years. To clear doubts and in finding solutions I have visited many Ulamas, knowledgeable men and intellectuals from all corners of Sri Lanka. They could only explain certain normal matters and problems. None have spiritually answered my queries or cleared my doubts, nor have they provided me with authentic supporting evidences to clear my doubts in a manner comprehensible to all. I even decided to commit suicide, if I failed to discover the truth and clear my doubts. Having my qalb being fully invaded by discordant beliefs, Wamu, in my youth found the Quran and Hadith erroneous and detected sentences opposing one another. As none came to my rescue either to state the truth or to clarify my doubts, made me to tear the Quran and Hadith. I came to the conclusion that there is no God. I began to read books written by Ingersoll, William Moore and Darwin and analyze the same. My mind was not at peace. I researched on Christianity and Saivism, Hinduism. I read books written by Swami Vivekananda, and I found the answer in one of his books. Whoever strove himself, to them we will show our way, said the Creator, didn't he? Religions are authentic, true and genuine. It is the foolhardy, due to their lack of knowledge, misdirect the basic truth underlying the religions. This is what I gathered from it. Believing that I must plead for pardon from God for my sins brought about my being ignorant in knowledge, I begged for pardon and mercy from Allah. I beseeched Him to show me the correct path. The Sea of Mercy, omnipotent Allah showed me the way, the correct path. I, who was enveloped by veils of darkness and light, gained some peace and tranquility. I carried the Quran and the Hadiths in my head. I am living, surrendering my whole self to Allah. This I must tell you. O brother, I am advising you once again not to lose your patience or become militant at any instance. You may think that being patient is only in a brawl. This is not so, for you could become patient in defeat too, cowardice. The authentic and genuine patience is different. It is the patience you must possess in the course of the battle you wage in trying to elucidate the truth within the knowledge, war of knowledge. The feasible battle between knowledge and ignorance is more dangerous and difficult than battles involving armaments, swords and guns. Hence, this feasible is one battle that needs loads of patience, is the appeal I would like to make of you. The Quran states that God is with the man of patience, Sabir. Man of patience, Sabir, is a man of principle, Kathir, is an indisputable fact. Hence, in any state of mind, you must show patience and place your belief in Allah while analyzing and searching for the truth in order to become a true servant. This will finally help you to be in the presence of Allah's grace. It is also true that you will not be with the truth, until your mind is rid of all the veils that envelope your mind. This is the experience of my life. I have in this book arranged the chapters in a manner that would help you first rid yourself of all the veils that surround you before you attain the truth. Therefore it is best that you read the book chapter by chapter to ease your efforts. Traversing in blind belief and equally blind rituals and blind following will only degrade and destroy your life of gold to one of rustic sand. This in Akira would be like crying over spilt milk. The amals you do without understanding may be the cause of your undergoing punishment. Hathis. The difference between the worshippers, Amala call those who perform amals, and the intellects with Iman is like the one between my Sahabi's lowest standing and me, said Rasul, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This Hadith says that worshipping without knowledge brings no benefits and lowers the status of that type of worshipper and raises the status of the intellect with Iman to be comparable to the status of a Nabi. Chapter 1 Summary. Number 01. Man is born to attain his fullness, that is peace and tranquility. Yet many of the people are ignorant of this fact. Number 02. The aim of all religions is to explain the details of this life and the life hereafter. This has been due to various reasons, been distorted, misconstrued, and now has become lifeless and inactive and has come down to a state where it cannot even guide a person along a straight path. Number 03. Islam is the religion, deen, that has in it all the facts of all the religions collected up together. This religion of Islam existed in its most pure and pristine form for only 30 years after the demise of Rasul, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Due to certain reasons, Islam's basic principle has been tampered with. This has to be studied in patience. Number 04. The Islam we were taught in our younger days, its basic principles and explanations are all in conflict with the Quran, Hadiths and expressions of the devout followers. Number 05. Many amongst us practice the compulsory acts, faro, of Islam only by tradition and practice and gain no benefits or do not know how to gain benefits. Hence, let us with patience understand and follow the authentic practices so as to obtain benefits in both worlds. Number 06. I am writing this book not to gain fame and honor. It is to do my duty and remain my only objective. Number 07. I have not compelled anybody to accept the explanations I have stated. Those who like it can accept and those who dislike it reject. It is the right of choice for anybody. Number 08. One advice I wish to give our readers is that an ignorant man performing amals brings no benefits. It is best to get to know the truth and the objective, understand, accept and believe in it so that we could succeed in finding our objective. Number 09. The explanations given in the book may seem opposing your knowledge, traditional practices and queries. Do not lose your patience, instead study it many times over and clear yourself. Number 10. Those who were in want of knowledge of your had given us explanations, advice and directions that opposed the actual truth and were unsupported imagination. Following them will only lead us astray and we may have to sulk over it in Akhira. Number 11. If we accept Rasul, Sal, as our mentor, Quran as our Imam, common sense and the advice of the true servants as our witness, none will deceive us, even a miscreant. Number 12. Striving to discover the truth is the best amongst all amals.